In this video I'll be discussing question set number 35, and this question set is also based on the question scenario that I spoke of in the 31st question. And to answer this question set, I'll be using the same database that I created in that question set as well. So in this question set I've been given 7 questions, and in the first one I've been told to enter the data into the brand table that I created. So to answer these questions I'll be using ADSQL, and also I'll be using queries to enter data into these tables. So first I'm going to go to ADSQL, and since I've been told to add data into the brand table, I'm going to first type a query like this: insert into, and then type the brand table name, and after that in between the brackets I need to use grave assets and then type these columns. Over here I'll be only giving the brand name column because the brand ID column is already set to auto increment. After that I need to give the values, and in between the brackets I'll be using single quotes and then type in the brand names. So the first one will be DSI, the second will be Bata, and now to add the second and the third and the fourth brand names into the table, I need to first copy this query and then paste it 3 times. And after that I need to then change the values in these 3 queries. So over here I need to type Bata, after that Nike and Puma, so now after typing these 4 queries I need to only execute it. Now if I go to the data section of this table and refresh it, here we can see that all 4 brands have been added into the table. So that will be the answer for the first question. And now the second question, I've been told to add data into the product table. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to ADSQL and erase this query, and then type insert into, and since I've been told to add details into the product table, I need to type product, and in between the brackets I need to use grave assets and then give these column names. So in this also the product ID is set to auto increment, so I won't be adding any values for that manually. So instead I need to add the values into the product name column, the description and the brand ID column. After that I need to add the values. For that I need to use single quotes in between the brackets and then type in the values. So over here I need to first add the product name. I'll just copy paste that. Next is the description. And after that I need to add the brand ID. Brand ID will be 2. So that will be how the query will be generated. So next I need to create the rest of the queries for these rows over here. Okay, so after adding all the the rest of the insert queries, all I need to do is run it. So now if I go to the data section, over here you can see that all of the data has been added. So that will be the answer for the second question. And now the third question, I've been told to add data into the GRN table. So for that, I'm going to first go to the query section again and then erase this query and then type insert into GRN. After that, in between the brackets, I need to add these two columns because the GRN ID column is set to auto increment. So first what I need to do is I need to type the GRN date column, and after that the user ID column. After that I need to type values, and in between the brackets I need to use single quotes and then give these values. So the first one will be the date. I'll just copy paste that. And after that I need to add the user ID, and just like that I can just copy this query and then paste it another 4 more times and then edit that data. 3 more times. So over here I need to change this date. Same here. Okay, so after editing these queries, all I need to do is now execute it. And now if I go to the data section and refresh, you can see that these 4 columns these 4 rows have been added into the GRN table. So that will be the answer for the third question. And now in the fourth question I've been told to enter the data into the GRN item table. So for that I'm going to first go to ADSQL and go to the query section and then erase this and type in a new query. And in between the brackets I need to add the columns that are in the GRN item table. So first I'll be adding the GRN ID. After that I need to add the product ID, and after that the quantity column. And after that I need to add the unit price and the selling price. And after that the stock ID, and after that I need to add the values. In this the GRN ID will be 1, the product ID will be it will be 2, and the quantity will be 32. After that the unit price will be 350 and the selling price will be 400. And the stock ID will be 1. So just like that I need to copy this query and add and paste it 4 more times. and after that I can edit the values in these and edit the rest of the 4 queries. So after editing the rest of the 4 insert queries, all I need to do is execute it, and I'll be getting an error like this. And the reason for that is because I have added a wrong information into the GRN table as the ID. So after fixing that, if I execute the query, I'll be still getting the an error message like this, and the reason for that is because I haven't added any data into the stock table. So first of all, I'm going to copy this query that I just typed and then paste it in my notepad, and after that I'm going to erase this query that I typed and first enter data into the stock table. So for that I need to type insert into stock, and after that I need to mention the columns. Over here the columns will be quantity and selling price. After that I need to add the values, and the values for that will be these values in this stock table. So I need to first add the stock ID and then the quantity and the selling price. So just like that I can copy this query and add the rest of the rows into this stock table. In this there is 5 rows. So after editing the rest of the values, all I need to do is execute these queries, and just like that I'll be able to see that the stock table has been updated. So next what I can do is I can erase these queries and then paste the queries that I typed in earlier to insert data into the GRN item table. So now if I execute this, all the data will be added into the GRN item table like that. So that will be the answer for the 4th and the 5th question. And now in the 6th question I've been told to enter data into the invoice table. So again I'm going to go to my SQL and then type in insert query, insert into invoice, and after that I need to add the invoice table columns. I'll be only in the date and the user ID column. Next I need to set the values. So I need to type values, and then in between the brackets I need to use single quotes and then give these values. So the first value will be the date, and after that the user ID. I'll just copy paste that there, and after that give the user ID, that will be 3, and after that I can copy this query and then edit the values in this query and then enter the second and third row into the table. So I'll just copy this date and add it here. Same with the third insert query. I'll just copy this date and enter it here, and after that all I need to do is execute this query and then go to the data section, and over here we can see that the 3 rows have been added. So that will be the answer for the 6th question. And now in the 7th question I've been told to add data into the invoice item table. So again I need to first go to ADSQL and then go to the query section and then type insert into invoice item, and in between the brackets I need to first add the columns of this table. So the first column will be the quantity column, and after that it will be the invoice ID column, and finally the stock ID column, and after that I need to add the values. So next I need to add this data into this invoice ID column, this invoice ID table. So in this the invoice ID and the stock ID should be 1 and the quantity should be 10. So I need to type 10 over here and 1 over here in between these two semicolons, and that will be the first query that will add data into the invoice item table. So again I need to copy this and paste it 4 more times to add the rest of the 4 rows into this table. And next I need to only edit this data. Okay, so now after editing these values in the last 4 insert queries, all I need to do is now execute it. And after that, now if I go to the data section and refresh this area, over here we can see that the data has been added, and that will be the answer for the 7th and the final question. So that's all I've been told to do in the 35th question set. So that's all for this video.